All right, man, it's time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Hey,
about the nature boy, Ric Flair,
the
in
nature
AEW.
boy. Woo.
Is it just me, or was Tony Schiavone dying to be able to yell somebody's name in a crazy way outside of Sting?
Um, Tony Schiavone was that man's so corny, and yeah, it was like he looked like he could have died a happy man after announcing that Ric Flair was on Dynamite today.
It's funny you say corny because to me, like, I still like having him on commentary because he does kind of give me the positives of that old school WCW feel.
Oh yeah. I don't dislike him at all. I just I understand why the wrestlers talk shit about him all the time. Because he's fucking corny as hell.
I don't know. Adam Cole was just mad that he was getting a little bit close with Britt. They were best
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. Because why does your girl want to be best friends with that corny dude?
That's all right, man. Do you now realize that we have Ric Flair and Jay Lethal in the same company?
We can woo off. See,
And
I hadn't even
seeing
gotten that far yet.
and Sting can do
If
his whatever he does.
yeah, he can do
Ow,
his
or whatever.
he can do his thing. If they don't get Jay Lethal on screen with Ric Flair, that's a failure, complete failure. But you already know because at some point, Jeff Jarrett gets involved with everybody. And if
So
Jeff Jarrett's involved, so is Jay Lethal.
I absolutely love this because I never saw Ric Flair coming. As people were trying to speculate on what Tony Khan's gift was going to be, I never saw Ric Flair coming.
Yeah, that was not on my list of things that it could be a whole person, a whole granddad. Like, damn.
Now, I will say that part of the reason I wasn't expecting him was because of the trouble he got into with like his scandalous past and stuff coming up. But you know what?
Mm.
As much as the backlash is warranted and everything else, this isn't for his spotlight. This is for a wrestling legacy that isn't even Ric Flair's legacy. It's Sting's legacy, which is so closely intertwined with his. I can understand wanting to have that moment together.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be upset with Tony Khan getting Ric Flair on there after how much he's talked about, other people's paths. But
Vincent
it's Ric
Kennedy
Flair,
McMahon. Yeah. Like it'd be different if it was
and it's
something
for
where
yeah, and it's not like they just brought him in just to bring him in. Like,
it's
hey, we're just bringing in Ric Flair to be the star of the show.
yeah, it's
Like,
not his spotlight.
yeah, yeah, it's all about Sting. Like, he's doing something that'll make Sting happy. Because you know damn well they couldn't have got Hogan on there.
Oh, there's already been a long. Actually, Tony Khan outright has said that Hogan won't ever be there. So that'd be a
Mhm.
big going back on his word. But
Mhm.
also, I hate to say it though, it is going to be about Ric Flair because soon enough, according to Christian Cage, we're going to have a funeral. That man. I saw some people actually comment to our like the short when he first got there, and they said, "Why is Tony Khan gotta ruin the moment by having like Ric Flair come out? Like, why does he gotta ruin that moment by having somebody else come out and ruin it? Do you feel like Ric Flair's moment
Mhm.
was ruined, or do you think it was great?"
He got him. His moment was there already. the The moment wasn't ruined because people had finally started to calm themselves down. They were getting over it. Like, that was enough.
Yeah. And it
Christian
goes back
Cage coming out to interrupt. Perfect.
and it goes back
Because
to the point.
if he
It
had
wasn't
came
his
out right
moment.
away, right? Yeah, like we said, it's about Sting here, and I feel like that kind of proves it right there. That Rick came out and said, "Hey, I want to do this with you. I want to be a part of your last little ride here. I want to go do this with you. Can I do that with you?" And it wasn't nothing that he said in there was about himself at all. It was just, "Hey, I want to be there for you, buddy."
And possibly okay, there were so many things I loved about this, between the lines, like the actual bombs that Christian Cage dropped on Ric Flair. But there's a little moment when Ric Flair was getting hyped up and he woos this couple of times, he bounces off the ropes, and I believe it was Taz that says, "Keep your clothes on, Rick."
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty good. Like, keep your clothes on, Rick, because I was like, he's about to go crazy. He's about to do it.
He's about to rip off the jacket, throw it down, elbow drop his own clothes, throw some shoes in the crowd. No, nope, can't do that because Tony Storm will call gimmick
Say, yeah,
infringement.
we already got a shoe thrower.
But I know he threw shoes at Jay Lethal at that woo off, didn't he?
He definitely threw his shoes off. I
I'm
don't
trying to
know if he
remember.
threw them
Swear I
because
remember him throwing shoes at some
the
point. I
woo
just can't
off.
remember.
Rick was in the ring and Jay Lethal was at the top of the ramp still, so I don't think he was going to be actively trying to throw shoes at him from that distance, but
It
he
was a
might have threw them
TNA
in that
ramp.
direction.
That was like 40
That's
feet.
oh yeah, that's true. It's a TNA ramp.
And those things
Could
are
have
like
been like
boomerangs.
it could have been like a half a foot away.
Do you feel
Do I feel?
that Christian Cage has ever gone too far?
No. And I'm going to tell you why. So I don't think he's gone too far because none of this things that he says has any effect on me personally. Um, I am going under the assumption that everything that he says to people, he clears with them before he does
Mm-hmm.
it. So if he is clearing it with these other wrestlers and they're saying go ahead, then why would I be offended? It's about them. It has nothing to do with me.
I mean, there's
So
been
go ahead,
times.
Christian. Like, he says some crazy stuff, but as long as it's been cleared by the other wrestler, I don't think I have the right to be offended by it.
I would generally agree with you. There has been a few times in AEW history that obviously things have been cleared that were just kind of a little bit extra to the point of cringe.
Mm-hmm.
That I was kind of curious because it's in there wondering, when you drop some of the lines that he drops, they are lines that in my head I'm like, I can't believe he just said that. But again, if the other person's already approved it, that's cool. Just there's certain things that you just don't see as much, especially from old school wrestling, because of the world that we live in today, especially
Yeah.
with social media blurring the wrestler and the character is going to just get much more blurred than it would have in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's just me in the end is I don't know what's real and what's fake anymore, pretty much. So as long as the other wrestlers backstage haven't got problems with him talking shit about everybody's dad and basically calling Ric Flair a dead body.
Listen, man, there's only one person that we've seen in AEW who has overtly taken exception to things people say. And that man was let go from the company between All In and All Out.
Yeah, he who must not be named.
Thanks for watching this video. Let us know your thoughts as well as any questions you want us to answer in the comments below.